Good morning, Rockland County. How is everybody today?
All right, except we were supposed to get sunshine. It hasn't happened yet.
I trust that the sun will come out.
Oh, okay.
Eventually. At least it's come up. At least there's that. So speaking of a new day, I think it's worth talking about the American Dream Mall over there in Bergen County in East Rutherford. It's something that's hard to wrap the mind around, really, and it is going to beg questions about what impact it's going to have. You know, I think the question is not necessarily what impact is it going to have on retail per se. When you consider this colossus that includes ski lifts, a professional ice rink, an 8-acre, essentially amusement park, Nickelodeon Universe amusement park, and the water park, which I think is the real significant one. I think where this is going to hurt the Palisades Center is that people might not rush over to the American Dream Mall for its 450 retail outlets, but the kids are going to pressure the parents. I want to go to the water park. I want to go to the Nickelodeon amusement park. And the ski lift. I mean, we don't have anything like this in the metropolitan area. And the Palisades Mall, one of the important stats there that they talked about when the mall turned 20 is that, 76% of visitors to the mall come from outside the county. So, some of them are shopping, but I guess many of those visitors have been coming for whatever the experience is, the movies, the restaurants, or, whatever entertainment is there. But I can't believe that the mall is not going to feel some impact from something as spectacularly, out of this world as the American Dream.
One of our listeners called this morning and said that she's heard from an employee at Bed Bath & Beyond that they're packing it in as of June.
Yeah, and we're going to be reporting on that later.
Okay.
But with this American Dream Mall, it's fascinating. I mean, I'm not sure that their confidence in retail is any more sound than the supposition that the big boxes are going to survive here in this county or anywhere else, because we're having a complete reset on what retail looks like. So they're planning on, I think it's more than 400 stores, a lot of the same stores that are actually closing down, like Bed Bath not Bed Bath & Beyond, but like the Build-A-Bear and Sephora and Victoria's Secret. When you look at their list, it has endangered retailers there too. However, I do think that the uniqueness of this kind of, it's basically Disneyland in northern New Jersey. It's unlike anything that we've got in this region. The closest thing really are the water parks up in Sullivan County. We're out in Pennsylvania in the Poconos. So, and plus, and they are such a powerful outlet that I think that, their publicity machine is going to draw people here for the sheer spectacle of it. Now, will it have long-term success? Who knows? Is the retail really going to work there? Who knows? All of this is very much up in the air. But the American Dream Mall is definitely something that we're all going to be talking about we're going to be talking about this mall. We're going to be watching this. It's going to be interesting.
I think maybe it's this whole concept of retail being diminishing in lieu of home shopping, whatever, on the internet. I think it's overstated to a degree. We had to buy a stove and a microwave in my house. They both went, and they shopped around. My daughter and son-in-law, they wound up in Home Depot, and happened to hit a good sale, and they purchased both units. And like my daughter said, you can't online see what they're like. You can't put your head in there and look and see the distance and open the door of the microwave or see the knobs on the stove or just the whole attitude of being able to up front and personal look at these appliances. It can't be matched.
That's true. The category that's been most affected is apparel.
Yeah. I was about to say that. The brilliant minds think alike. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, no, go ahead.
No, I'm done. She made a very good point in that.
Well, it's just that you can go online and quite easily buy a T-shirt, or a pair of jeans. It's not necessarily a tactile experience like buying but I mean, I know that even I had to replace. Well, I've had I've had the hardship of having to replace the refrigerator and the dishwasher within the last year.
You too, huh?
Yeah. Now,
when ours go, they go all at once. They just do.
Me too. And remember when, like how our parents had appliances for 25 years, they never replaced anything?
Yeah.
Well, it's not like that now.
No.
But I mean, I went online, I shopped it out, and then ordered it over the phone from Lowe's. I mean, it was now granted, at least I purchased from Lowe's, which is a local retailer. But the truth is that and this generation is so comfortable online, almost to the point where the only thing that they really want offline is their coffee. There's just almost nothing that they don't do online. So we're changing as a society, and the thing about the big boxes though is that they're so redundant. There's so much of the same thing. It's just not supportable. It's not sustainable. It's interesting with this American Dream Mall how they and it's they're upfront about this. So to go to the water park, which I suspect is going to be something that will be well attended. Again, at least initially, but to go to the water park, people are going to have to walk through 300,000 square feet of retail to get there. I mean,
none of which is open, by the way, yet. They haven't opened the retail.
No, none of the retail's opened. What opened so far is I think the ski lift, the professional hockey rink, and skating rink, and the amusement park, and I know we listed it in our story about what opened on. We had a story this last week. Let's see what opened last week. A few of the attractions opened last week. So they're expecting 40 million visitors annually, and some of that is going to overlap with the Palisades. I definitely think that the Palisades, which pays $21.4 million in property taxes, is going to feel the heat. And I guess the other thing that will be interesting to see is whether this brings to a head whether or not George Homan, if he's reelected, puts up the referendum for the Palisades for that extra 240,000 square feet on their fourth floor. So I think that I think that the American Dream Mall is going to change the needle, move the needle.
Have you heard of any substantive or non information about what they would put up there if they got approval?
So they keep using the buzz phrase entertainment.
Yeah.
Because there's a recognition that the direction that malls are moving in is there are 3 or 4 buzzwords. So here's an interesting stat. Okay, there are about 1,200 malls in the country. Okay, only 22 of those have been built in the past decade. That's 10 years. And then a growing number of the properties are converting their space into office space, apartments, hotels, or warehouses. So the Palisades Mall, I think, ultimately might have to think about that, especially as it's got two empty anchors on the ground floor, the JCPenney and the Lord & Taylor. For the 240,000 square feet on the fourth floor, they constantly use the buzzword entertainment. So what will they do up there? What don't they already have? I don't know. They have the ice skating rink, right? You know, I don't think that they could put a water park in there. It's not big enough. I don't know what they would do with 240,000 square feet. Something entertainment, or they already have the theaters. Maybe they would do a performing arts theater. That wouldn't be a terrible idea, actually. But that's a lot of square footage. I don't know. I mean, you know, they need to get past the referendum or win their lawsuit.
It's not on the ballot this November, is it?
No, it specifically was not, even though George Holman was pressured to put it on the ballot, and Councilman Franchino championed for that for a long time. It is not on the ballot, so the issue remains unresolved. The Palisades Center is still in the appeals court, and there's just a lot of uncertainty hanging around that mall.
Well, keep looking at it. Now, if anybody wants to see these stories and information about them and other things that you have, it's right at your fingertips. Just go to rcbizjournal.com. I got it right, didn't I?
You got it,
yeah,
right.
rcabizjournal.com. Things are really happening in the commercial world here in Rockland, and you're on top of it.
Thank you so much.
All
Well,
right,
thanks
thank you.
so much. Have a great weekend.